So I'll do that. This is our client consent cooler, aka Client Gabapentin.
Yeah.
It's good enough to make any client
calms them
comply.
right the fuck down.
All right. Client consent cooler. Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Oh.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Vet Tech Nerd Party. Cheers.
Cheers.
We actually, I think, have what is our best
drink
my
to date.
date.
Agreed.
It's so good. It is our client consent cooler, aka Client Gabapentin. Because if your client drinks this, they are going to be more than happy and consent to
anything
whatever
that
you
I
need.
Yeah, this is. We are going to be making it and bringing it home with
Super
us.
decadent.
So.
Like I said, I think it needs to be blended. I think if it's blended, oh my god, it's gonna be fucking fire. Like
not that I didn't trust us with a blender, but I was like,
correct. No, I think you're right on to do that.
Yeah. Okay, good. I wasn't trying to be judgy, but I was like, I don't want to fucking blend anything today.
Yeah,
so.
I also don't want to clean that.
So check out Rexology because this
is a winner.
Cocktail is
one of our favorites.
You can have it for breakfast.
I could drink this. I mean,
it looks like eggnog, but it's not.
Breakfast,
it's not eggnog.
lunch, dinner,
Orange
at the
Julius.
pool,
Yes.
at the beach. Oh my god, this
So
at
good.
the beach.
Yeah, we're talking about it a lot, so it's definitely our
you guys
game changer.
Have to try this. But with that being said, with the name, we are going to be talking a little bit ish about clients today. Not all shit, but
we sometimes love clients.
Oh yeah.
There
I
are
mean,
times.
You always you have those clients that bring you like the Christmas cookies and that totally love you.
Well, the truth is the clients keep us going too.
They do.
Yeah. I mean, literally,
they do.
They're paying for everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Yeah.
Literally.
I mean,
literally, we have to give them some credit.
I think what's hard is that you can have 30 amazing clients walk in and your day is unfazed.
Yeah.
And you have one client who comes in and shits on your parade, and
then you have a podcast about them.
Yeah, and you have a episode about them.
That's
but
good.
they really can affect the way your day goes and affect the way your mood goes throughout the day.
Yes.
So,
but we try to teach everybody to not let that happen.
Yeah,
but
it's difficult.
It is inevitable.
But
It
you
is.
have your days.
Clients get under your skin, and you're affected by them.
Yeah.
Do you think it's just a human, like it's a human trait that like you don't want people to talk to you like that? You don't want to be have people being like rude and condescending? Or do you think it's like part of being a vet tech where like you're there to do a good job and you feel like they're questioning like your skill, your morale, your ethics, your
I think both.
everything? Do you
both.
like are you guys personally taking
at the
offense?
end of the day, like we are in the business of customer service as much as we don't want to look at it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's so many times where we are taught that the customer is right. The customer is right.
Right.
But I tell my students all the time, the customer is right until it becomes abusive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You do not need to stand there and suffer abuse.
Right.
You can fire clients.
Right.
And they're like, what?
Oh my God. When you send out that letter,
great.
Sometimes.
Or when they're like, I'm going to take my
Chef
pay someone else. I'm like, well, good fucking thank you so much. Great.
Take
Like,
your business elsewhere because you're not wanted here.
Yeah.
But I think
it's not an easy thing to negotiate because you ultimately like customer service. You want to still make money. You want returning clients. But if your staff starts to get abused by the same person over and over,
right,
you get to say, I'm sorry, you're not healthy for this clinic.
Yeah.
Like if we had toxic employees, they get fired.
What do? You get rid of them.
So if you have toxic clients, they get to go.
Yeah.
And I love that because it wasn't
like that.
It wasn't like that for long. Like we had to just
suck it up
for this.
Grin and bear it.
Yeah.
You're just gonna deal with this awful person and do the things. And then in the background, like we're dealing with like the sweetest pet ever.
That's really
Yeah.
And we're like,
oh, I love this pet.
I really
hate this owner.
I really want to steal this pet because
you don't deserve to live with this person.
Do you guys ever have those moments? I used to do this all the time where like, I mean, you have to keep patient care first, right? Like that's why we're in it. And you have to keep the animals like best care at heart. But like when you have those shitty fucking clients, did you guys ever talk shit to the animals about the client?
I would always be like, look at their collar, make sure there's no recording device because you never know. People are crazy.
I was that person that was like, I love you. You're the best. I Your owner's a
Fucking
little
hate your
crazy.
mom.
Do we love your mom? We don't love your mom. I was just like,
But it's tone of voice, right?
yeah, but I
Oh
would
my
just
gosh,
like,
Your mom's a fucking shitty ass.
yeah, your mom fucking sucks. But I would like talk shit to the animals about
Yeah.
But they're
their
not gonna,
owner.
but
no,
like,
and
right.
they're just
Yeah.
like,
But she's saying about recording devices.
I
Call
mean,
it
people are
fuck.
fucking crazy.
I
Right.
know.
So-
Has that ever happened? That would be
No.
so.
no, I
But,
haven't,
like,
but you can't.
I
put
Oh my
had
God, I
it
someone
totally
have
wanna
their
do that.
house keys on their dog's collar. 'cause
They
kept
had
their,
what?
Their house keys.
Oh,
So they kept their
That's
house
not
keys
smart.
on their leash and collar for like when they were on a walk. And so they had dropped off their dog and like an hour later, like, can I come get my house keys? And then that made me think like, oh shit, what else are people leaving on their
Right.
That's so
So
gosh.
oh my god! I
just look
never
for a
thought of
recording
that.
device on your
You know,
animal.
there's so much scary recording stuff now that like
Yeah, it would be real
Be
sneaky
mindful.
now. Yeah.
Right. I mean, at least
So
it was like a
talking
happy
about-
voice. At least we weren't like
Yeah.
shaming the dog
Yeah,
no more.
that's
But
cool,
I was
yeah.
always like Mary fucking Sunshine with talking shit.
Yeah.
but if we're talking clients, like there is upped game. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
recording wise.
yeah,
I think that my most recent experience is just being mindful when we go to barns.
yes, yes,
Ring cameras and they
yes.
Oh, yeah.
like you're and it's not like I mean we all operate like my practice operated with ethnic principles and
Yeah,
care
right.
and
Yeah.
kindness,
Right.
but not
That's not
everybody
what I
does.
was worried about. That
Yeah.
you know, like it's not the ethics that
Right.
I'm concerned.
But
Yeah.
they're so when you're trying to deal with a challenging equid, you know, you have to be mindful of the fact that the moms and dads are watching.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
is it just camera or is it voice? You know, like so
Right.
everything. And it's not like I would act differently knowing I was recorded.
Right.
But at the
I
same
wouldn't
time,
act differently, but I would keep my fucking mouth shut
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I
if-
cuss a lot. I cuss a lot
Yeah.
when
But
like
I
something
think that
is
my
like.
cussing would be
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, I'm tired," or like you know,
It's not like
not
at the
like
pet,
berating
but
the
it's-
pet.
Right. Right.
But
And my
it's-
cousin, again, too, it's, I think like we've talked about, it's like that gallows humor. It's that
Yeah.
side banter. It's the stuff that if you're not in it, you don't understand it. Right.
Yeah.
Like, and I
Right.
think we've talked about that before with like veg, where it's like, it's great. Like these hospitals, like I love everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
However,
How can they?
if
It's
you
crazy.
don't
Yeah.
have any sound or education behind what is going on, like you may not understand the gallows humor. You may not understand like what they're
But then at
joking
the
about.
same
And it like
time,
hurts your
I would-
feelings and then you question care, right?
Yeah.
Like
I would love. I mean, I was at PacVet last year, and really was kind of fascinated with the whole veg concept,
yes.
and went over there a couple times to kind of talk to them and interview people that work there, to find out like what. Like I am old school vet tech. Like,
Right.
what does this open floor concept mean for you? And like, is it crazy to do all these things in front of the client? And I wondered if the dialogue that we would traditionally, because they say the front and the back of the hospital,
right.
and the back gets a little rowdy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
So how does the rowdy translate to
When there's no
an
division.
open floor
Yes.
concept? And
Yes.
I was fascinated by one of the young women I talked to.
Do you
and
guys know anybody that works at a veg?
Not
I
personally.
don't know.
I
one of-
just the ones that I talked at PacVet.
One of my old coworkers works at a veg, but she would have to Zoom in. But I think we should do a Zoom vet tech nerd party with her and just get, I mean, she's a ER doctor, but
Like I follow a lot of people that are.
I would
veg.
love to just hear. And she's like, I mean, this is a girl who we brought up in our clinic, and our clinic was not PC. Dr. G always was like, I love to work with type A bitches. And that's
Yeah.
what he would like openly say about all of us. And we were
Right.
like, yeah, we're type A
Oh my God,
bitches.
I'm
But
having-
like,
I'm having a tangent with that. So I literally was talking about that with like one of the upper students. And so I literally said that. I was like, yeah, like Mallory, like, and I was, cause we were talking about like literally the 1 degree of separation. Like
Right.
Yeah.
how
Everybody
everybody
knows
knows each
everybody.
other.
Everybody
We
knows
all know
everybody.
each other. We all knew each other from like, 20 years ago, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so I literally said like, oh yeah, like there's one place that Mallory and Aaron used to work at. And, Granny back in the day. And like, you know, Mallory always says that G would just hire those type A, like type personality, like
Yeah.
bitches. Like that's what he would say. And so she was like, and so I was like, oh my gosh, like I should have worked there. She's like, you would have gotten well, like you would have gotten along well. Like the student said that to me. I was like,
You're like, what do
did
you
you
think?
just call me a bitch?
What do you
Like,
think?
like totally like stone face. Like, I mean, I like,
oh.
yeah. And everyone was just like, and I was like,
But
I'm just kidding. I mean, I would have, but I was like,
you
you
say
just called
that,
me
but I
bitch.
even
Like,
say that when I talk to our externs. I'm like, if you are not a type A bitch, like you would not have done well at our clinic. And I'm not like proud of that, but that's just like,
But
that
it's
was our
not
environment.
bitches. We are
And that was our-
assertive, strong women. We
Right.
are not bitches.
Yeah.
Right.
That is
Yeah.
something
But like that was
different.
like that was our clinic dynamic, and that's
Yeah.
what worked for our clinic, right? And if
But I
you are
think-
not a type A assertive person, like there are plenty of other clinics that hire
are
people
not.
that are
Yeah.
not
Every
type A
clinic
assertive
has
clinics, right?
a different culture.
And that's
Yeah.
what I
and
tell
you're gonna
them.
find
and
the
you're
one
gonna
you
find
fit in.
Oh, are we boring? you?
Sorry,
It's
I
kind of early for you to
know.
be
I'm
bored
s-
already. No, but it's like you will find
Sorry.
your vibe, right?
mean,
Like
yeah.
you will
Yes.
find your vibe, you will
Yes.
find your people. But
It's really important to know that, like,
Right.
if you go
Oh,
in
that's so
and
good.
you're,
Right?
I tell students that you are interviewing them as much as they are you.
yes,
And
Yes.
you have to, you can't
yes,
do a lifetime job with a place that doesn't meet your needs.
Right.
right, right.
So
but that's
if
why,
it's like if it's an all-star bitch roll call,
yeah,
and you're not that, then
It's not gonna
go
work.
find
That's
something
cool.
else.
Yeah.
That means there's other clinics that are successful and happy, and
Right.
will suit your needs. But I really do like operating with authority. And
Yes.
having assertions with some of the things.
Yeah.
that I
And I
want to
think
get done.
also when you work with people like that, they also understand
Teach
that
you.
teach you.
sorry.
Yeah, but also understand like if you're having a bad day and you come off like a bitch, you don't always offend people.
Right.
Either.
Right.
Like,
It takes
Right.
a lot to
Yeah,
offend
But,
me.
like, I
right?
get
Like-
you today.
right.
Mallory's
Yeah.
acting like a bitch
Yeah.
today, or Aaron's acting like a bitch
Right.
today.
Jen's
and then
having a
you're like,
bad day.
okay. And then you just move forward.
You're like,
Whereas
it's
if you're
Monday.
right.
Yeah.
Like, or
Like-
like if you didn't work with people like that, you would be a lot.
Like, woo.
It would be
hey,
shocking.
woo.
I'm
It would
so
be
sorry.
shocking.
Yeah, like yeah.
So, but that's what I love about who I actually want to have on to do our like Zoom call with us. Her name's Morgan. She came to us as a tech, but in like early high school, like very young, like probably before
Wait, we don't
should
need to put
legally-
dates on
Oh.
things.
Yeah, before we
Okay.
should have legally had her in the hospital. But I mean, she would be.
That's
we'd
14.
be like,
Workers
yeah, she'd be
permit?
like, fuck, yeah.
Yeah. Workers permit on
Yeah,
board.
Yeah.
Sure.
sure.
But we would be like, fuck shit. And she'd be like, you're a potato. And we're like, what? Like, but everything for Morgan was like, you're a potato. You're like, she's just so sweet, right? Like, such a good girl. Went off to vet school, fucking killed it. And now is like this badass emergency doctor. She's cussing, she's yelling.
it.
Hey, you're not a potato anymore.
I'm like, I am so
Who are
proud
you?
of you. And like, G and I did a podcast with her, just listening to her talk, and I was like,
This is
oh my
not-
god,
yeah.
like I'm so proud of like everything that you've done and like all that
Yeah.
you've
But that
become.
speaks to like longevity in the industry. Like you
Yeah.
get to see people
But you've watched her like
like
adapt,
blossom
Yes.
and
Yes.
do all
like
that.
she can still be like they're still like heart of gold,
Mhm.
sweetest girl in the entire
Yes.
world, but like has a backbone and is now delegating and like just handling shit. And she's in, oh my god, I want to say she's in St. Louis.
Hmm.
So she's like, but she
Yeah.
like lives in like the outfield of the baseball stadium and this like
Oh, fun.
bitchin' penthouse, and she's
Nice.
cussing and she's like doing all
She
these things that we
embraced-
worked
Yeah.
so
embraced-
hard to get her to
Wow.
do. And it just shows you that like you can start off at any point and you can just like transition into anything.
Well, it's
and like
evolution. Like we
Yeah.
all are doing this.
but she
whole
works for Veg.
process
So
of-
I would love to hear the like
yeah.
Yeah.
she was
behind
at
the
a clinic that
scenes.
made
Yeah.
her like very unhappy. She felt like she didn't have mentorship. She was like burning out year 2, walked into Veg and she's like, this is my home.
That's the
These are my
story. Like
people, and this is where I wanna
yeah.
every
be.
That
veg
is what I-
person,
Yeah.
that's their story.
That's
and
what
it's,
I've
like,
heard.
crazy
It's
to me. Yeah.
wild. I'm just so terrified. But again,
Yeah.
this is all stuff I would love to get into with her.
Just the
just
behind
like,
the scene. Yeah.
I think that we should have a veg interview.
like
Yeah.
what do you do? Like if
Yeah.
you have to say fuck, do you just say it?
I know.
Like
what
can
do
they hear
do?
you? Is it just them seeing you?
No,
Is
but
it-
I
you know,
think
like-
that there's an automatic discretion that turns on when you have a client there.
And I
Yeah,
know, would that
it-
hinder people?
I do.
I know, because like if you're trying to think about what you're saying all the time, are you actually like focusing on your medicine?
But maybe they don't
like.
But maybe they don't hire people like us.
Yeah, right.
That's that's key.
I mean,
well,
I'm not to be. I mean, like
would
I
not
love
enjoy,
us.
like I
but,
wouldn't
like,
enjoy doing that
No.
stuff.
Like, I
think.
don't-
I don't like
for
filtering
me.
myself.
Yeah,
I
I'm,
don't have-
I'm
think
not.
would
I
have
don't
it.
think I'm veg material.
Yeah. Same.
I
I
think
know.
I'm glad that there are people out there.
I think you
oh,
are
for
too.
I think
sure.
I am.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think I would love to have the pet parent there because I always loved working emergency. One of my favorite things was when you have to admit the patient,
Yeah.
like the pet parents have to go away. And so like
Right.
I'd be in the room with them and be like, we've got this. And I'm going to be your pet's person for the next 10 hours.
Right.
And I can assure you that the person that's going to watch him for the next 10 hours is going to be just as dedicated as me. And so identifying with them and telling them that I'm your pet's person.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not that pet liked me is
It's different.
regardless,
Yeah.
especially if it was.
See, I'm on the other side. I'm like, the owner's probably going to fucking hate me, but your animal will love me. Like, I will make
yeah,
it a
and
mission.
I'm okay
I
with
think
I
that.
will make it a mission to be your pet's best friend. You might cry.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
pet will love me.
Yeah. I think that's just like the testimony to my background and
Oh, for
counseling.
sure.
Yeah.
Where I really thrived with the pet grief I did the
Yeah.
certification with pet loss and grief. And I think it's so powerful to be able to connect with pet parents that way. Here I am talking about dead stuff.
Again.
Shocking.
But I
Well,
think
I
it's because
also- I
it's so
enjoy- yeah.
important to be able to help them feel escorted.
Yeah.
Yes.
And hold their hand, not literally, but being able to say,
Support
this is
them, yeah.
something that is very hard and I see you.
Yeah.
But I really did like telling them that I was going to be the person for their pet.
I did always enjoy like discharging
Yeah.
patients
Yes.
and they would call me directly. Like I'd be like, okay, you can call me at work. And like, they would ask for me directly
Yeah.
at work and be
Yes.
like, we were talking and they just like relied on me. And then when they like got it and then their pet was getting better, it was such like, they were so grateful and so happy and just like really,
Because clients
Yeah.
are looking for that
Yeah.
connection. They don't want to go to a mechanic and not know what they're talking
Right.
about, And
Yeah.
So I think
think-
oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Word vomit, you go.
I don't know what I was saying.
Oh, sorry.
It's gone.
So what I was going to say is, sorry, I ruined it.
No, you didn't.
I think, I originally, when I was in college, I wanted to go to school to be an EMT.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was in the EMT program at Saddleback, and we had to do our ride-alongs. And there was some guy, like, full cardiac arrest, just fucking
Dying.
tanking.
Dead.
yeah.
Dead as a door.
in-
Yeah.
And I remember they were, like, trying to provide care, and I'm just sitting there, like, oh my God, like,
What am I witnessing?
I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what the fuck is going on? This guy is chewing everybody out, yelling at everybody, didn't want care, just wanted to die.
The dude.
What?
The
dude,
person who
The
was-
person who was
patient.
like, yeah.
Whoa.
And I was like, damn. And like, I'd always loved vet med.
That's
but-
a human animal.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they're-
Yeah. And I was
Yeah.
like, I had started it originally. Like, I've always loved medicine. Like, I've always been so intrigued by medicine. And I definitely wanted to go the vet route. And then my aging grandma lived with us, and I watched her go through, the full cycle of life.
Right.
And that's when I decided, like, maybe
humans.
I would want
aren't
to be on the
like
human
that.
side of it instead of the animal side of it. And I did the ride along, and I was like,
nope,
fuck
never
that.
mind.
Nope.
I
Back
wanna
to
go
pets.
back to my
Can you
vet
drop
med
me off
track.
at my?
And I was like, why are we fucking, like, in my mind, I'm kind of an asshole, but I was like, why are we fucking wasting the
Yeah.
lights and sirens
Yeah.
and oxygen on
This
this
guy
fucking
doesn't
guy
want to
who
do
wants
it.
to
He want
die?
to
Like,
live. Yeah.
fucking let him die. Like, what are we doing, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then it was like, the next case was like some combative fucking person who wanted it. It was just like,
What are we
oh my
doing?
God, like, this just confirms that, like, people fucking suck. And I was like, I am just going to go
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And I graduated high school a little early, so I was really lucky. So this when I was like 18, and I was like, oh, I'm going to shift back to vet med. And I
But
did.
veterinary
but
medicine, because humans are
because
gross,
humans
are
fucking
awful.
suck.
Humans
Awful.
are gross.
Right. But
Yeah,
what I,
hate
really
human medicine.
learned was you can hate humans all you want in vet med.
They're
As a technician,
You're
you
dealing
deal
with them.
with people a lot.
Yeah, more
Well,
than the
that's-
animals.
A lot.
Sometimes.
I think it's such an
Yeah.
ironic
For
statement. Like, I
sure.
didn't like people. So I was like in
Right.
the industry of people, right? Like
Right.
counseling, high school counselor, probation, all the things.
All the goods.
And you can't say like I got sick of people, so I went to vet med,
No,
because like
no.
every animal has a minimum,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
minimum of like
4
one or
legs.
two people.
4 legs
Yeah.
behind them.
You
At
know,
least 2.
so it's just so ironic when people are like, oh, like all the people that go into vet med, like it's because they don't want to deal with people. And I was like, people is like 90% of the
Of what
ratio.
you're dealing with.
of what you're
Yeah.
Like you're dealing more with
Right.
people all than you are ultimately with.
Raise a hands.
Yeah.
Who got into vet med because they didn't like people?
Well, yeah. I told
Well, I
my
thought I
just
did.
had
Right?
I just had the
I mean,
resume
I thought I
lecture.
did.
Yeah.
And I told them about my first interview at a job at a hospital. Was like, I said, oh, I think I want to work with animals because I don't really like people. And she
Did they
hired
laugh?
me, but like she said, hey, just so you know, you're going to deal with people and you
Yeah.
shouldn't say that in an interview. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like 18 and she was great and she hired me and it was perfect because she was the
Smart
person
people
who
hire-
did it. Yeah. But
Smart
like,
people see the
And that is
people.
and I
so-
told them, I was like, don't say it. 'cause
That
you're
is
gonna
so
deal with
nice though
people.
that she gave you that feedback.
Oh yeah.
Like
Right.
that's why, and I think I was telling him about resume, our class, and I don't know where I was going with this. Oh, but of course, too many of those. But
So good.
right, so good.
Yeah.
But I was telling him like stuff like that. But I'm like, you know what? I have been very fortunate, and like pretty much every interview that I've been on, I've gotten the job, whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
Like, and except for one. Like there was one, and it was like for another shelter or something. It was like a supervising RVT, but I didn't have any like management skills under my belt,
Right.
and so I wasn't even looking for a job. It just kind of like randomly popped up, and I was like, yeah, I'll just go for it. Like, why not? Like the worst they can say is no. The worst I
Right.
can say is no.
Yeah.
worst
Right.
they
And so
can
I
say
was
is
telling
no.
him, I was just like, even if you don't get it, and going through the interview process,
He's going to give you
it's
valuable.
a learning
Yeah.
experience. And so
Even
yeah.
if it just helps you reflect.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Right?
having that feedback, like, and I know, like, I'm bad test taker and I'm a bad interview person because I get very, very nervous. Which is,
Yeah.
you wouldn't think that with, how I'm
The
talking
amazing
right
personality
now.
that shines
Yeah,
through.
but no, like I get very, very nervous, and so like the first like week of like a new class, I pace so much. I like fidget with my hands.
I do that
get
anyway.
sweaty.
I do
Because
that
Oh, I
anyway.
sweat no matter
nervous.
what.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
matter what.
But I'm just like, no, it's like it's such a great learning process
Yeah.
for you and
Yes.
to. So I love it, like I said, and I love that they gave you that feedback.
Oh, well, I was just so funny because I remember being 18, like, yeah, la, la, la. And then she was just like, yeah, like, I think you do really well. But she's like, just so you know, you're going to work with people and
Yeah.
you shouldn't say that in an interview. And I was like, oh.
Oh,
And I like didn't
Uh-huh.
even like think about it until she said that. I'm like, of course I'm going to be dealing with people. Like,
Yeah.
of course I am. Like,
I
how
think-
could you not be? Right.
I think people that might not understand or be new to the industry think I just want to deal with animals.
Right.
And there are
That was me.
different
100% me.
there's different clinical settings where
You don't
you
have to.
as an assistant or a technician or a kennel attendant don't need to interact with the people that much.
but you still
Right.
have team. You still work with people. So you have to interact with those people.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait.
That's what I tell my
That- yeah.
students. Like, you still have to interact with
There's
your
people everywhere.
coworkers.
We
and
can't get
your
away from them.
doctors,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Do you
can't
guys
get-
want to play a quick game of? I just thought of this. So you're gonna have to drink if you've ever done this
Oh,
because I think
God.
we're talking about
How strong
clients
is
and
this?
how much
I
how
love
amazing
it.
they are and if we ever did
I'm
it. So
ready.
it's gonna be rapid
Okay.
fire.
You
Uh-oh.
need to stir it.
It's
I
5
think.
questions.
Yeah,
Stir your
yeah.
drink.
Yeah,
Wait,
use
I
your
may need a
straw.
refill before we do this. Wait, can you guys
Oh,
banter for a minute
does
while I
that mean
refill?
that you're going to drink
Yeah,
a
no,
lot?
I'm gonna come refill. So you guys have to talk.
Okay.
I don't.
Did you guys ever watch SNL with
Yeah.
Yeah.
the church lady?
Oh, yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves or whatever accent she was at. No. Okay, did I totally just age myself?
No.
Because he was
No.
Dana Carvey.
Do you
Because
ever
it was
see
Dana
Dana
Carvey.
Carvey? Yeah.
Age yourself.
Yeah, because of Dana
Do
Carvey.
you see me?
Yeah, you're beautiful.
Yo,
Do you know that?
Oh my God.
Do you want to know something? I was like, you all get A's and you all pass, but like they're like week 5 now, but they were like, I said something like, oh yeah, like I'm crumbling in dust or something like
you
that.
said
Something
that
like
again
that.
on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's true.
Yeah. No,
Something like that. And they were like, well, I'm 26. What are you, like 28, 29?
Oh
I
my
was
God,
like,
yes.
Oh,
I asked them
I was
last
like,
I asked
what?
that class last week.
I was like, do you know
Um,
how old I am?
I loved
They
it
were
because-
Real wait.
amazed.
Can
was
I
like,
just tell you about my
"You
trauma I
all
had
passed."
yesterday? So my fucking nieces and nephews, love them. One of my nephews is in All-Star Baseball. one of the kids, this fucker, bought 95-cent toys off of Amazon, was selling them for $5 to the fucking kids. So I told my niece, I was like, we're jumping on this fucking bandwagon.
Yeah.
You and I are Amazon shopping next weekend. Like,
Oh
what
my
are we going to
God.
bamboozle all these kids for? So anyway, they obviously know my nieces and nephews' parents. So they know that, like, I'm not the parent. So I walk up to Holden and I'm like, oh, do you want this? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me go. Like, how much is it? It's like $5. I'm like, all right, let me go get my money for you. And I come back and I was here. And the kid goes, is that your grandma? And I was like, what? I was like, and I was like, and he goes, no, that's my Auntie Mal. She's the best. And I was like,
Okay, resolve.
get-
fucking
you
extra
get two
extra
of
birthday
those.
presents.
Oh my
Yeah, you get two
God.
of
This
those.
fucking little shit.
Grandma.
I was his grandma.
How?
I
Well-
was like, sorry, just to
I know, but I
side
was
tangent into the aging. I was like,
Age.
I would have
super,
fucking
super
I was like, fucking,
excited.
hunted
apparently for my
him.
40th, we have Botox, lip. There's, like, my list is growing.
No.
It was originally just lips. Now
No.
it's like Botox
don't let
and
some
lips.
fucking
No.
tweep
Dude,
twerp,
this little,
twerp.
this
tweet.
6-year-old,
tweet.
I like this
I was,
one.
gonna, I was gonna say
This
dweeb
6-year-old
and
kid.
twerp. Dweeb and
I like it.
Well, I told Greg, and Greg's like, "You're gonna let a 6-year-old dictate?"
I
And I
was
was like,
gonna
"Yes,
say,
I
my
am." This
6-year-old.
fucker thought I was his grandma. Like, what? Okay,
Jesus.
digress. Anyway, I was
No.
really mad about it.
Clearly, we're
But-
concerned with age.
Right?
I was
little
really sad
bit.
about it.
A little bit. Okay, so
Like
I'm-
auntie, cousin, any
Sister,
anything.
even mom.
mom, I would have been fucking Becky Lee's
Yeah,
great.
okay,
I would have
yeah.
been
Yeah.
great with mom. Fucking grandma. I was ready to like throw blows, and Greg's like, "You just need to go sit down." And I was like, "Okay."
Just watch
You
out for
should've
your
just
hip.
stole-
Hold on.
You should have just stole all of his money.
Well, so he had this ball.
Honestly,
He had this ball that
listen,
was just
kid,
like
I'm taking your fucking
literally
money.
just like
Go
attached to a
play.
rubber thing, so they could like throw it and it
Yeah.
would come back.
You should have taken
And
it.
I told Holden, I was like, "You throw that right at that fucking kid's."
I would have just taken it myself.
And he goes, "Can I practice on Uncle Greg?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't care who you have to practice on, but next time,
You're gonna
straight to the
nail
face,
him.
Straight to the
Little-
head.
Oh my
Straight to
God.
get
It's on my
that kid a
shit list.
fucking
Auntie
concussion.
Mal's not fucking around.
Auntie Mal was not. Listen, Auntie Mal.
Grandma
does not want to be
Mal's not
Grandma
fucking
Mal.
around.
Grandma Mal.
Auntie Mal might give him a break,
Auntie
but
Mal
Grandma
would've been
Mal
dead.
don't
I would've
fucking
given the kid
care.
Fucking $5.25. I don't give a shit. Auntie Mal's the fun one. Grandma Mal.
Grandma Mal, no way.
Uh-uh.
Grandma Mal ain't
man.
gonna take no shit.
Ain't take no shit. Ain't no fun. So we're gonna do like a
Okay.
drinking, like
Oh,
never
God.
have I ever.
Mm.
All right.
Okay.
You ready?
I just figured because our drink's so good, we might as well.
Oh my
embrace
god,
it.
that's
Oh,
embrace
yeah.
it. That's
This
good.
is my favorite.
Oh, look who's not turning her shit off during the
No.
pod. Is it your husband picking you up?
Probably. No, he's not.
Why the
picking me
fuck
up.
Oh, he's
are
not?
you
Oh.
doing?
Oh, I can't see it. I don't know how to work technology. It's fine.
Okay. Never have I ever made up a. Wait, we're only
Wait.
drinking if we've done it.
Okay,
right?
that was my
Okay.
question.
Wait, but I'm gonna take a drink before we start, just
Okay.
because I want to.
Okay, hold on. I'm not.
Oh, it's
Okay.
so
Okay,
yummy.
so if we have.
Never ever have I made up a fake medical word to end a conversation. Yeah,
I'm
I
not
know.
that-
I know
I'm not
real
that
medical
quick.
words.
Yeah,
and
I'll
I
just
can-
use a real one.
Right?
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
like, why would I make something up?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's
I'm also
what
not
we're
that
talking
creative.
I'm not that
I'm
fast.
not
I'm
that fast.
Yeah.
Brian
I
is
can
really
fuck-
quick on his feet.
Yeah.
I
like,
can
I
fuck
can't do
words
that.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like did I
That's-
intentionally?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Do you think the guy was
But
like,
it's not like intentional. That's just me.
Never have I ever intentionally misplaced a client's number. I'm gonna do a half sip because,
Wow.
like, maybe.
What do you mean, like how do you misplace it with a medical with a computerized
with a number?
medical? Oh, you mean
Oh.
like displace it?
Yeah. Like, do you like not
Oh.
have like?
Oh,
Oh, I don't have
no.
their
Oh, I
number.
was like,
even
I
though
don't
they
want
give
to
it to
call
you.
that. I
You know, you like-
yeah, I get.
I'm gonna
like,
go back
yeah.
to like
I don't wanna-
pre-digital when you would like
yeah.
write shit down.
I don't
and then
want to
you're
call
like,
that person.
I'm not
I would
calling
lose
them
the
back.
message.
Oops,
Okay.
I lost
Right.
it.
I was like, how do you put the not put the
Look
in
at
the
fucking
record?
holier than thou over
Well,
in
you
the
didn't have
corner, not
clients.
drinking anything.
No, well, remember I was in GP
Yeah,
for 3 years
true.
before.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you ever leave it somewhere?
No.
Or like told someone else to call them back and just been like,
No,
Oh.
because I'm kind of more of that like fucking bring it. Like with
Yeah.
Aaron is with cats, I'm like with people. So I'm like
Yeah.
fucking come at me because I
Let's
will.
go, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I will.
Yeah.
I will use actual medical words.
But I also
Yeah.
I always got the
You won't use my makeup word shit.
yeah.
just like with the students, I always got the weird ones. They just are attracted to me. So they'd be like,
Same.
"Oh, this client's calling for you," and I'm like, "Oh, fucking
I,
When they
great."
ask
I always
Honestly,
picked up the ones
Aaron,
too. Yeah.
Every Saturday class is old.
I know.
He's
I'm
like-
telling you, every class I have, there's one
There's more than one.
strange little
There's
bird,
always
and then
more than
every
one.
Saturday is like
just all strange birds.
It's
All
all.
little
It's like all the
strange little
birds were like, "This is the
creatures.
nest we want to live
They
in."
like they
That's a
flock
Saturday
to
nest.
me. They flock to me,
It's
and
a,
I'm just like,
it's a Saturday nest.
really
right.
do.
Oh my god.
it's
Saturday nest.
Oh, I've definitely done this one.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
I'm gonna
Never
be-
have I ever pretended to be in surgery to avoid the waiting room.
Wow.
I literally have been in surgery, so I can't pretend. To
Oh,
be
100%.
can't-
I'm like, oh
can't
no, they need
pretend.
me. There's
Oh
Julia,
my
there's
god,
no one in
Mallory,
there.
so and so's on the phone. I'm like,
I'm
I'm
in
in
surgery.
surgery. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Replace that with emergency, and it'll be all of us, right?
Oh, I did surgery. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Like I would fake an
I just-
emergency
so,
to
like-
not deal with somebody.
yeah, and like me pretending to be in surgery is from like the client who has called for the 14th time
right.
to tell me like a minuscule
Detail.
detail because
That
the
doesn't
doctors
change
have
anything.
cut them off. The
Yeah.
receptionist won't
Yeah.
talk to them. It's not that I'm like pretending to be in surgery to like not talk to people. It's that like a specific
The
client
boundary
is really like
is really
the
not-
boundaries are gone.
Yeah, there's no boundary.
Right.
Well,
And
that's
I'm
when
like,
we would that's what we would invoke that privilege to
Right.
say.
Did you
Yeah,
guys do
I'm in surgery.
that? So let's go one more. Did you guys do that to your coworkers? Like, so like with me.
Oh,
So
to
my
avoid?
example
Oh, what do you got?
was-
What do you got for us, girl?
Well, I mean, just like because I hated going into ringworm ward. I hated doing it because like
It smells like sulfur.
it's all sulfur.
Yeah.
It's of course it's cats that they're pissed off that we're fucking dipping them.
And it's contagious.
Well, I think I'm immune because I did get it when I
Oh.
was. So I I never got it again. But I would
guys my ringworm story. It's so good.
But I would like change my entire scrubs. Like I would have new shoes. Of course, I'd have gown. You know, I do my PPE to go
Yeah.
in there. But it was a big thing for me to go in
Personal
there. So I'd be
protective
like,
equipment.
oh no.
Oh yeah,
like-
there you go, Jen. What is PPE?
oh sorry.
Personal protective equipment.
Thank
There
you
you
so
go.
much.
I just wanted to say that.
No. In this
Like that
little
sexy
voice,
nighttime
Yeah.
disc jockey.
PPE.
This is
Yes.
Casey Kasem.
Yeah. What was that fucking chick's name? She was like always the nighttime host on
Cat? No.
It was
I was
like
like K Rock.
K-Rock.
but it was like, you know, like 103.5
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, she was like,
the coast.
Welcome to-
yeah,
oh yeah.
but she was always like,
Coast.
hey.
Yeah.
Remember when
that
radio
night.
stations like
Yeah. Well, it's not
We
a
should
thing
do one
anymore.
episode just
R.I.P.
all like
radio
that.
station.
Anyways, no, so I would be like, oh no, like I have to go clean surgery some more. Like I can't go into ringworm. Like I mean, I wouldn't do it very
sorry.
often.
Ringworm
But you would
Island?
bust it out.
But I would just be like, oh no, I can't go into parvo right now because the dog
Parvo
needs
is-
me next door. There's no dogs next door.
Right. Nobody has parvo.
yeah.
Nobody's next door.
I
Like,
would do it
fuck
every now and not very often, but they're just one days. I would just be like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So did you guys ever do that to coworkers?
Yeah.
Okay.
hide?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Like they're like
I mean-
I mean, like in a true emergency when shit's going down,
Oh,
no. But when it's
no.
like the fucking bullshit, you're just like,
No.
I wouldn't
I'm not
do that.
playing
I'd just
this
be
game
like,
today. Like
I'm not
I-
doing it today.
Yeah,
I
That's what I would
loved
do. I'd be like,
hiding
I'm not doing
in
that today.
isolation.
I feel like
Did
not
you?
that I do
Yeah.
that to you guys, like
Because-
having that partner and it's class,
Wait,
but I'm like,
now you're talking to two of your coworkers, and you're like, hey,
damn it, I just
I'm
you
hired.
guys, the dog
She's
is
so
hold on.
busy.
I
She can't
know.
do it.
I
Oh
see.
no.
for
Yeah.
us, so
Damn
for
it, I
us,
just-
the golden hiding spot was X-ray because we were talking like pre-digital X-ray. So you actually had to go in and like
Develop the
measure
film.
and change
Yep.
your settings and develop the film
That
and
took forever.
all you
make sure your
new
positioning was
techs are
right.
so
And our
lucky.
doctor was
so lucky.
not fucking around with positioning and
Yeah.
He was
contrast and
specific.
yeah, very specific. So like now I feel like you almost kind of lose your X-ray skills because you're like, I can crop, I can change,
Yeah.
I can edit.
Yeah.
Dude, but when you're talking about like truly on film and getting a legible X-ray on film, like that was a whole fucking process.
Yeah.
So like abdominal X-rays that now take us
5 minutes.
I was gonna
If
say
that.
Or
I was gonna
less.
If
say
that.
3 to 4 minutes,
Yeah.
like if they're kind of being jerks, was legitimately like a 30-minute thing
Especially
between
if
like
they
or
weren't
more.
sedated. Yeah.
right
Yeah.
and like trying to process and if you had
Yeah.
a
Okay,
take,
so you take
and like if your
that
film
with
got
like
exposed. So that was like our hiding ground was like X-rays. Like
Yeah,
now
go
we're
do
taking
X-rays.
X-rays for Dr.
a XYZ.
So
XY
and so. Yeah.
Yeah. And just
I really did like hiding. If there was any isolation patients, I was like, yes,
I'll do it.
I'll do
You're
it.
just stuck
I'll do
there.
it. They're my
I
patient.
loved being stuck in the isolation ward.
I do have to say
And it wasn't because I didn't like the people, or like it just was very
Predictable.
quiet.
Yeah.
And it was
Your own
like,
space, like
it was me doing all the
Yeah.
treatments,
Yeah.
and they didn't want me to interact with all the Gen Pop.
Right.
So I was like,
So like that's like your equivalent of, oh my God, we have a kennel cough dog who can't touch X, Y, and Z for the rest of the day. Who
Yeah.
wants to treat the kennel cough
Me,
dog?
me,
And
me.
you're like, me.
I like-
yeah, hands down.
and it's not to say that I'm not a joiner, but I just really do like some quiet.
I liked your eye roll with that, by the way.
Joiner.
Like your like bougie eye roll with that was so good.
Well, I'm a very social person, but not
right.
really
In the
at
right
all.
circumstances.
Like,
Right.
if I have the right people,
Yeah.
I'm very
Well, like everybody has that day.
And you have that battery
right?
too, where you're just like, okay, well, I've
Like, I
done
have
this
a-
for
Yeah.
3 days in a row.
Yeah,
like
no,
I'm
I mean,
fucking
and you
out.
really
have a pin that has a battery. It's like social
Wow.
battery, and it's from green to red.
Yeah.
And I really want to wear that at work.
Can you change it?
Yeah.
Can it be
It's
like?
a-
it's a,
Oh,
it's
like
a slider.
Oh, I need
Mine would
that.
just be red.
It's a slider. And
We-
I
we
would be
need those
like,
shirts.
if somebody comes up to me, to
That
the
would
red.
be great as like that would be great as a teacher.
It
I'm
was
gonna, have it on,
sometimes
I'm gonna
I'm
find
like-
it. We'll find
I'm
it
like,
for.
Thank
like
you so
Forrest.
much for being
order a
enthusiastic,
lunch.
but I don't want you to stay after class for 30 minutes. I want to fucking
Oh
go
my
home.
Dude, those fucking
Gosh.
students.
I had to kick.
Oh,
I had to. I think I
man.
told Granny I had to kick one of our students out on Wednesday because I was like, I have to fucking go. Like I need to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
have
don't.
a
I can't
fucking
do
night
this.
to sit and
This isn't my
chat.
life.
Don't get me
No,
wrong.
like,
Like,
I'm not-
there are days I'll stay till like
Yeah.
1
Yes.
o'clock, you
Yeah.
know, an hour. But like that day, I was like, no,
I have to leave.
I gotta go. I need my time.
Okay, so I am.
Sorry, that was reckless.
No,
I
no,
was
I'm
on a
gonna.
big
I
tangent.
was to say I am gonna filibuster here, you guys, because
Uh-oh.
I have a ringworm story, and then I
Oh.
have a game that I want to get into. But when you were talking about ringworm, fucking greatest time of my life to get ringworm. This was the year I called. It was like my 2018 travel year. I went to 5 destination weddings
Wow.
along with the bachelorette parties that went along with them. And it all
Wow.
happened within, God, it was like 4 or 5 months. I did not miss a day of work because I was able to switch all my shifts.
Oh
I
my
was
God.
working
Nice.
10s and I came back best tan, best attitude, horrible hangover. I was like
Ready-
loving
ready to
life.
win it.
But I
Yeah.
was like, he's like, oh, where are you going? And I was like, I was like going to Tulum. I was like
Yeah.
all over the place. I mean, it was like amazing. So I got ringworm right in the beginning of this.
Stop
I
it.
went to my friend's bachelorette party and we rented this house in Tulum. We had, I mean, just beautiful. But nobody wanted to stay in the same room as me because I had ringworm. And these are like bougie Orange County girls. Like we're vet techs are like kind of our own breed, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I have ringworm.
It's
It's like
fine,
not
yeah.
a big deal. And all these girls are like,
Oh my
Ew.
god.
oh my God. Like
There's
fucking
specific
who invited
circumstances for me to
Mallory?
give
She
it
has
to you.
ringworm. So this house was like this beautiful, insane, just like massive house. I had my own like whatever they call it, like mother-in-law suite or like whatever
You're
you
like,
want to
this
call
is
it.
amazing.
Own bathroom. Didn't share. Everybody else is like 3 girls
Just so
to
you
a
guys know, if
room.
we ever travel together, I have ringworm.
Yeah, just tell them you
So
have ringworm.
sorry. So
And it
Absolutely
legit
not.
was like
I also don't. I
it's
can't
still-
get it. So
I mean, it
fuck
was
off.
like-
hi.
Yeah.
no, it was like
Oh,
the
Erin.
smallest spot on my hands, and everybody was like, no.
So
No. So I essentially got my own like casita out of it
Nice,
because I had fucking
nice.
ringworm. So
You know, when you can use zoonotic
when you can use
diseases
it,
to your
use
advantage.
it.
Especially something like ringworm.
So never,
yeah,
never have I
easy.
ever gotten ringworm.
oh,
Not from
Oh, I
not
I've
from
never-
never have I ever.
from
Okay.
oh wait, we have to go
from
back.
wait
Wait, it's saying
Wait,
zoonotic
never have I
there?
ever. So wait, you drink if you've had ringworm?
Yes. we
wait
have.
from
Oh.
I only had it when I was a kid. I never got it from
I
work.
never have had it.
Never from
Yeah.
work? Oh damn, who's never have I ever had giardia?
I mean,
Oh, I
not
never had
Oh.
giardia.
Wait,
hard
I
to
don't
tell.
understand the never have it. Do you drink when you do have it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So
Have you
have
had
you had
ringworm or
ringworm from
giardia?
Vetmed?
No.
Neither?
Okay. So then,
Damn.
you don't.
And I
drink.
haven't had Giardia.
not
I have
giardia
not had
from
giardia.
Vetmed,
I go
I may have had
backpacking.
it from other places.
I go backpacking. We bring water filters.
Oh yeah, no,
Yes.
I totally got giardia from hospital. But my other filibuster
What's a filibuster? Anyway.
is where you just talk until
Okay.
fucking-
Blah, blah, blah.
You just keep
Sorry.
rambling and nobody else gets to talk. Wait, what was I gonna do? I was gonna tell you guys my
You
ringworm
said
story.
you were
and
the
then I was-
filibuster. You
Ringworm
said
and-
the
Oh. It's because I wanted. Light bulb.
light bulb.
Clearly our drinks are really good. I wanted to
really
do the
are.
science breakdown because I wanted you
Mm.
guys to hear this before we keep rambling about
Oh.
clients because it was kind of interesting to me. So When humans hand over control of something they care about, like a pet, it triggers a biological stress response.
Makes
The
sense.
hypothalamus pituitary adrenal, so the HPA axis, activates, releasing cortisol, wait, I'm so sorry. I should have zoomed this in more. I can't read. Activates, releasing cortisol. And then the absence of direct control heightens anxiety and leads to irrational behavior, like demanding to FaceTime the pet during the procedure or like all these
Absolutely.
weird requests that we get.
That makes sense.
But you pair that with a confirmation bias, essentially Googling worst case scenarios,
Yeah.
and you've got anxious client syndrome.
Yeah.
So there is actually a legit syndrome for our crazy clients.
So my Valium in the water would be,
Would be
a very
fantastic.
good
Correct.
idea to activate or
So
non-activate that.
how rational are you guys when you, as a tech, how
I am the worst
how rational
am
are
the
you when you drop off
worst
your own pets?
client ever.
Let me just say I have 2 dentals for Trixie and Bruce Wayne on Monday the 30th, where I don't.
They just had dentals.
No.
Really?
No.
Didn't you just do the
Where are you-
whole?
That was Zipper. Zipper had it last year. He had to get all of his
That's a
whole
cute
mouth.
name.
Oh.
I like Zipper.
Because I
But
remember
there's
you did it
one-
when we were together. So I was wondering.
It's
Has it
been
guess it's been a
over
year.
I think
Yeah.
that techs are oftentimes the worst
Terrified.
clients.
Oh, worst.
because
Terrified.
We
We
know,
know.
what's possible. Like,
I'm like,
we're
who's
not-
doing the anesthesia? What's your protocol?
Yeah, who's your
Who's
yeah.
watching it? And
what
like,
meds are
luckily
you
it's
using? What's your
good people,
recovery?
but
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. So if I ever dropped Riley off for a dental because she's a little white dog, so her teeth are like disgusting. I'm like, I feel like I'm pretty good.
I'm
like,
good
I'm like,
outwardly,
do
inside.
not. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm like,
agree.
do not talk to me until she is out.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't need to know. But of course, I do know. Like, she doesn't do well under anesthesia, so like they've had to give her,
Right.
like, she's had 2 dentals, and so they had to give her atropine like, and I'm like, oh
Mm.
motherfucker.
Mm.
I
and
don't
then
love that.
No, and then they said that she had a really, really bad reaction to something else, and I was like, I just don't think that the catheter was in.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I love that.
but
Because we
Questioning.
know.
Yeah. Are you
Yes.
sure? Are you sure
Yeah.
that was that?
Why did you have to give it twice?
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll ask questions. We're the worst.
Yeah.
We're the worst.
but
worst.
I feel like it was just kind of like, okay, like, but now like she needs one again, and I'm like, ugh,
Let me-
I don't.
Let me place
Do
a
I want
catheter.
to? I know. I was like, I'll do it ahead of time because I can
actually
do it.
thought about asking the hospital if I could just stand there. I'm like, I won't say
Can I
anything,
just
but
be a
can I just be
creeper?
in
Could you
there?
just stand there though?
But so
No.
that's
Exactly.
the problem.
I
Like,
couldn't just. But
that-
what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
that would be the gift that we would have.
You looked away.
Yeah.
You looked
But
away from the machine.
when
for a second.
clients don't have that access.
So
Yeah.
And so what I've learned is if you leave clients to their own devices as far as why you haven't called,
Yeah.
yeah.
you are going to get a really upset,
Yes.
Client,
irrational
yeah.
client.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you call them proactively
Yeah.
and be like, he's going into surgery, everything's going good. And I know that that's a
But
luxury.
if you call them
and
pre-surgery, you need to bet your fucking ass that you are calling them as soon as that trach tube is removed because that client is counting every
All the
fucking
Right.
moment.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can't call them pre-surgery and then be like, "Oops,
Oh, I
we
didn't
forgot
call you
post-op,"
afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
because
So
that's
that's where
like-
shit goes
that's
wrong.
the
Is in
responsibility
post-op.
we have. Like
Right.
if our timing for communicating with clients, it really needs to be structured.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you have a pre-op call, you have a pre-op call. If you have a post-op call, or you have both, you have to decide and stick to it. And there's
Yeah.
a lot of times when owners get left to their own devices, and I know I'm like catastrophic in my brain if I don't hear from you.
So
or there's the
oh, sorry.
I was gonna say there's the other client who doesn't want to know anything.
Right. Let me
had
know when
to
I can pick them up.
I had to really because
Right.
I'm the type of person in general, but also like as a tech too. I want to know all the things. Like I need to know all the information so I can make my decision. That's just
Right.
the type
Right.
of person I am. Some people do not want that.
No.
Right.
And when I would communicate from my perspective, here's all the information, and they'd be like, your tech just told me all of these things, and now I'm just not. I'm like, I was telling them about the surgery. What are you
Right.
talking
Right.
about?
Right, like, I'm telling you about what could really happen.
But like they didn't want any of that info.
Right.
So it's really hard to tell sometimes like which client's going to
Yeah.
want the
Yeah.
info and which one doesn't. Like it's really hard.
And that's really up to
Yeah.
front desk staff.
Yeah.
And we have
Right.
talented front desk staff that are able to say, they read.
you couldn't pay me
intuitively.
enough to be a receptionist. I'm just gonna tell you
No.
that.
I started as a receptionist.
Oh,
Oh,
hats
I
off
did
to
a
you,
little
girl.
bit too.
Can't do
yeah.
it.
And I think it was invaluable, but it was also because it was my back set of skills.
Right.
Don't
Right.
get me wrong. I think
I-
cross training is huge, and
Oh,
I think,
for sure.
and I think everyone needs to stay like maybe a week up there just to see
Yeah.
what
What
every
it's like.
position does.
Yeah.
Because yes,
You're gonna
like
be-
we would get
You're going to
mad.
be asked to do all the things.
Yes.
There's very
Right.
few clinics that allow you to just do what
One
your job
thing,
set
yeah.
is.
Especially once
So-
you're licensed.
Yeah.
Right?
You guys, I 100% as a licensed tech wasn't feeling great. It was like in the beginning of COVID. We had a doctor who had lupus, so we like had to be really careful with like who and what we were like letting in the hospital. I didn't feel great that day. We were really short staffed. People were calling out. I went and sat up front. I was and I'm talking 18 years into the same clinic.
Right.
Like, not a new clinic, not anything. Oh
Like,
my
I
God,
hate
everybody was
this.
calling.
I hate
I
it.
was like picking up phones and I was like, okay, so you can come in at 2. And she's like, where the fuck is my prescription refill? And I was like, oh my God, wrong lines. All discombobulated. And then I ended up getting so sick that I had to leave to go get COVID tested because it came up positive with COVID. But I was like, I just want to be productive and like show support.
Yeah.
I like quadruple booked like the whole morning.
Oh my God.
Because like everybody on the phone,
We
like,
also had COVID.
I didn't
so
know
that's
what
not
to do
fair.
other than to just like schedule and like, and people are yelling
Stop
at me
yelling
and
at me.
everybody was mad. And I was like, I am not built to be a
Yeah.
receptionist. Like
No.
my multitasking is like pulling up multiple drugs, reading multiple charts,
No,
like
but
talking to everybody.
CSRs
It's not like being on the phone.
CSRs
It's like,
are
dude, hats off to the receptionist, man, because
Yeah.
it's a beast of its own.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were
Absolutely.
like quadruple booked, and I left because I had to go get COVID tested, and then I tested positive for
Bye.
COVID. I was
Drop the bomb and just like fucking walk
they
off
were like,
in the
"How did the morning
sunset.
end up like this?" And it was like,
I
"Thanks
don't
for-
know. What
thanks for-"
happened?
I'm like looking around, and I'm like, I'm the only dickhead up front. Like it was very,
Who did this?
it was very clearly me.
I don't know. Bye.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you guys have one moment with clients that you were just like, "Damn,
Damn in a
this
good way. Damn in a bad way.
bad way"?
I hung up on a person. This is at the shelter. I tell this story all the time when my kids or the students, not my kids. But like it, like basically the people, like, because of course it's like a county thing. Like they like you have like the phone people, whatever they're called.
Yeah,
Whatever. So then they would like, filter and put like the calls to wherever they needed to go. But if they could not figure out what they were asking, they would literally just give
Dump
it to the
it,
vet to
yeah.
the vet staff, and we're like, this has nothing to do with us. Like,
Right.
so I don't know. Like, don't worry,
Yeah.
but I will find the place to go. So take, but
yeah,
because we were apparently the smart people, even though we were the assholes of the freaking shelter.
right. Hey, you fucking suck, but give me an answer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I remember, like, so the protocol was anytime an animal came in, dog, cat, they would get its core vaccine. So so we were dealing with the dog. It was distemper. They would get distemper, bordetella. They would get Drontal, and they would get flea meds,
Okay.
like right off the bat. Scan, all that stuff. Have
Not
their
parvo?
exam.
Not
Or
parvo?
DHT2PP.
Okay.
Sorry. DHT2PP. So just like the core. And so you go out to the kennel because we're worried about herd health.
Yeah,
like,
Right.
because there's, 200 plus animals or whatever, however many it was.
Yeah.
So then the lady, like, I guess she redeemed this chihuahua or whatever it was. And then like 2 days later, she called back. And so luckily Julia got this call and like, so, said, hi, like, it's Julia, like, blah, blah, blah. And so she's like, right off the bat, like, you could just feel her combativeness. And I was like, oh, God damn it.
You're like, here we
Yeah.
fucking
here
go.
we go. Like,
And like for you not to deal with them very often too.
Yes.
Like to have that.
Right.
Be like,
yeah.
Like when
I
we
haven't
have
answered the phone in 3 months.
Yes.
And this is the one
Yeah.
that's calling.
Yeah.
No, when we have like the repetitive shithead
You're just like,
clients, I'm like,
yes.
fucking bring it
Yes.
on. Let's
Yeah,
go.
let's
Yeah.
go. Come
I'm
on.
like, you guys, I like thrive like that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Yeah.
let's do it.
not only am I
Or I can just be like,
oh no, for me, I'm
or
like,
Yes.
I'm
whatever.
educated.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Yes.
You're an asshole.
Yeah.
I can fix this. Like, do you want to work together? No, you just want to have a fucking pissing match?
Yes.
Like,
Bring it.
let's fucking pee, dude.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
like I love that.
Oh,
You
I
love
love
a
that.
pissing
Yes.
match?
I do love a good pissing match. Oh
All
my
right.
Oh my
God.
God.
Noted. I'm gonna bring you
Noted.
to my party.
Oh God.
Let's do it, Jen.
Yeah.
So like anyway, so she was talking about, she's like, well, why did you guys vaccinate my dogs? Like they was already vaccinated. And we're like, well, like we don't know, like because
How would
Fluffy
we
did
know?
not tell us that she was vaccinated, you know. Anyway, so she was like going on and on and on, and I was like you know, trying to get that word in, but she
Right.
was just like, and I was like, well, ma'am, like sorry, like, you know, we don't know, once again, kind of going the herd health, like, you know, our
Right.
protocols are
Which is totally different at a shelter versus
Yes.
like
Yeah.
so our protocols were written by our staff, or they were by our chief veterinarian that had to go through like okayed by the director, which had to go through like the board of supervisors of Orange County, which had to
Right.
get then approved by like the director. So there was like multiple steps. So everyone agreed to it. So I was trying to explain this to her.
And that you personally have nothing to do.
I
You're
have
like,
nothing
I
to
did
do
not
with it.
wake
I
up and
just-
fucking
do
make
this.
this
Yeah.
decision today.
So like
this
on
is
and on.
something-
Yeah. So she just like would not let it go. And like the last time I like this was like, and I did the whole thing like, oh my God. And like she's just
Yeah.
going, and then like she like my boss, she had this little office. She could hear me like just kind of like, man, like, you know, and so she like peeked her head out, and I was like just, like I
Yeah.
want to shoot myself.
Yeah.
Like, why am I doing this?
Right.
Blah blah. So then probably 15-20 minutes into this conversation,
Oh my God.
I was like, you know what, ma'am? Like, and so she's like, listen here, bitch, on the phone.
Click. What?
And at that point, I was
my
like,
God,
at
you're
this
lucky
point,
you just get a hang
No.
up. Oh,
I
no.
like that, like I raised my voice, like being my, I was like, you know what, ma'am? Like now that this has turned aggressive, I'm gonna hang up on you and ending this conversation. I told you what went on. Like if you need to call back and like talk,
Right.
the
You can
supervisor,
fuck
you
right
can
off.
go here.
You
Like
can
there's a
fuck right
supervisor you can
off.
talk
Yeah.
to. Have a good day. And my boss was just kind of like, and I was just like,
Yeah.
And she's like, you're fine. And I was
Yeah.
like, I know I'm fine. Like
I
I'm
know.
not gonna.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let someone
And that's
talk
what we
to me
talk
that
about.
way.
Like
I'm
you
not gonna
don't
have someone
to
talk to
be-
me.
Listen,
No.
You don't have to sit
Listen,
there
Linda's.
and be abused.
No, I
Listen,
think
Linda.
I think the
That's my
problem
mom's name.
I think it goes back to like our mini science break, right? Like these clients, and I was talking to G about a podcast on this where it was like the clients are looking for answers. They don't know the answers. They're looking to you for answers. But if you don't provide the answer that they're
they
looking
want.
for
They're going to
or what they want,
keep asking
you are
the same
like
question.
opening kind of like a can of worms,
Yeah.
right? So it really is like a delicate balance of
Yeah.
like,
And it comes down to money. The big thing is she
Yeah.
didn't. It was her like her dog wasn't vaccinated for rabies. It was up to date on like distemper, so it was like wasn't
Right.
vaccinated for rabies. So like they had to have like a back license. It was out in public for like 3 days, so like we had to board and house it and feed it.
Right.
So like
Yeah.
I mean it ended up being like just say like I don't know $400 bill to
Well,
get her
yeah,
damn
she's
chihuahua
responsible
back.
enough.
So
she
she
wouldn't
was
have had to
pissed
do that.
because the $20 vaccine that she had to get that the dog already had, she didn't want to pay
right,
it.
it's not like
Yeah.
$300.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not. Well, guess what? Like, sorry, that's on you, bro. Like,
Right.
I don't deal with
And
money
that's the hard part is because they get most frustrated about time
and money.
Time and money.
Time and money.
then-
And I will tell you, I was just at the shelter.
Oh, did you not adopt somebody else?
I didn't,
Oh,
but I did finally get pictures of that cute little guy that I'm going to send you guys. But
I don't.
the
need
one
a
that I
dog.
want, the one little puggle guy that I
Oh my
wanted.
God.
Oh my God, he's like
You
a mini
need to
box.
stop with the
I know it's just the fucking
brachiocephalic.
brachiocephalic. Like you're part of the crew now. We have a crew of
can't have-
brachiocephalics.
You
But
can't
I
have a
will tell
herd.
you, just so people like, I think people think like, oh, it is just like the vets trying to milk the clients and like this and that. Like it is woven all in between the system, right? Like, so I was talking to the shelter and she was like, oh, we had to go to this clinic because they were the only ones who could like treat what we needed.
Mhm.
And they show up and they were like, okay, cool. Here's a $700 bill. And they were like, hey, we could have done half of this at home. Like, and they were like, no, well, we did it here. So, and they were
Yeah.
like, okay, well, we're
A shelter.
whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, are you
Yeah.
going to give us any kind of discount? They said no. She was like, okay, well, it's like the last time. This is why I haven't brought my animals to here, to you guys since 2007. And this is why I will continue to not
Yeah.
use you guys.
Yeah.
So then she gets a bill
For more.
for that service and then a service from 2008. And it was a ferret that the shelter, which are illegal in California, right?
Yeah.
So the ferret had issues. They brought it to a clinic that deals with
Exotics.
and ferret-like things. And the clinic claims that Fish and Wildlife came in that day
And gave him a fine.
took
Cited
it
them.
and gave them a fine and did all these things.
It's not illegal to treat them.
It's
No,
not illegal to treat
it's not
them.
illegal to treat
100%.
them.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
You have to report.
100%.
You have to
It's-
report if you see
Right.
them.
Yeah.
So they claimed that Fish and Wildlife came in and like put a whole kibosh and everything to the animals.
20
So,
years later? You're going to bill her 20
Pretty
years
much.
later?
19. You're talking 19
Pretty
years
much,
later.
yeah.
No, I know, but like,
So then the
That's
shelter
just
said, well,
spiteful.
if you guys aren't giving us the
Yeah.
animal back and you guys are taking it, like, we're not going to pay for anything.
Yeah.
And the owner of the shelter or the director of the shelter is like, she's as good as they come, right? Like she's one of her own beasts, but she was like, fuck them. So she like never used them again until recently. And they sent her a bill for both. So
That's
they not
what I-
only,
that's
they sent her
crazy.
the bill from like 2006 and she was like, fuck them, send them a check, don't give them a credit card. Like
my
I am
God.
not going to. And I was like, damn, but I guess like my whole point of that is like the bills don't stop like with the owners. Like I think everybody thinks everything is free and we
Right.
like are choosing to charge and we're not. Like the costs get passed all the way around.
Yeah.
Like this is like an animal that got dumped at the shelter.
well,
Or
and
that the
also, who do you
shelter
think the
picked up
shelters,
that got
like,
charged
the
by this
taxpayers
clinic?
are paying for the shelter
Yeah.
stuff, right? Like, that's
Right.
why it's so
But it's like-
challenging. Yeah.
Like everybody has to pay for stuff. Like
Yeah.
if we could give discounts and we could
We
treat everything.
would.
Right.
I mean, are you kidding me? If someone was like, you can open a clinic and you can
And not
treat
have to charge
everything
for
for
anything?
free, fucking sign me
I'm
up
done.
all
Yeah.
day
Well, and I was thinking
long.
about it too. Like,
yeah.
I would probably work for free if it meant
Yes.
just doing like the medicine. stuff. Like,
Yes.
you wouldn't have to pay me. I would just go and do it. It's great.
If
You're
somebody
paying me to deal with the client.
no, if
and to
somebody
deal
told
with the
me
bullshit.
we didn't charge clients, but you have to work for free all day long,
Yeah.
all fucking
Yeah.
day long, would I provide medical care for animals?
Yeah.
If there was no money involved and I didn't have to deal with fucking owners.
Yeah, it'd be great.
all day
Yeah.
long. Well, I mean, I don't know about all day long.
No,
That's
but
it.
like, I
Like-
would definitely.
That-
But
that
no,
is
I would
more
give my
That is-
time
that
and my
is
effort.
very altruistic of you. to
That's
do.
a very
I-
slippery slope.
But I enjoy it. I
mean-
enjoy it.
I mean, I would still need a real job.
That's what I
but
mean, like,
would
this is
say,
in a
like, I
perfect
would,
world.
like,
Yeah.
I would not.
Why
mind.
wouldn't you just want to earn money for what you like to do? And
So that's
why-
the thing.
and that's why
Because
we're
if it
vet
true,
techs.
because
Right.
but
right,
vet
because if it
techs-
truly comes down to money, and like you really have animals that aren't receiving care because of money,
Then I would
and you
rather
could
the
just
animal
take money
out of
completely
it.
out of it.
Yeah.
for sure.
I would have a real job and then offer a certain amount of hours available, like to these places, and offer
Right.
free care
Yeah.
to like help the animals that can't get it. You know,
Because that's why we're in it.
Yeah.
right?
for
But
the
it, like
animals.
it doesn't play out like that,
Because we
Right?
can never get away from clients.
right?
Right.
So clients are going to be there.
Do you guys have like awful client stories? I mean, we're getting look at us tangent over tangent. We are getting concerned. Do you guys have any fucking awful client stories where they're just wild?
I mean, we had a ton of.
I mean, I had a
threats.
client
Like,
who
we had
offered to
like-
pay with OxyContins.
Oh.
Oh,
Which is, like,
did you take
super
him up on
fun.
it?
What? No, shut up.
Oh my God.
Then you could
No,
have
too
sold
much.
those
Yeah,
and
right.
they've been like real
Sorry.
rich.
She's like, look, I don't have any money. We had a client who slept with her dead dog for weeks.
Yes.
For
Phil talked
weeks.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did
What?
Phil
I
read
think
my
it-
story?
No.
Motherfucker.
I think he was on an episode of something.
One of G's. Not
Yeah.
ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So bring it.
You just want it. I mean, this is like my ultimate crazy client story.
Yeah,
Was
this is a crazy person.
we had? Have you heard this?
No,
You haven't?
no.
Okay.
Tell
All right.
it, baby girl.
All right, get ready for it. So
Saddle up.
saddle up. I mean, I feel like
It's the crazy one. It's
this
crazy.
is this like my.
That's
I think this
horrible.
tops my career.
This is-
So
I feel so out of the loop. I'm the one who has never
Oh,
worked at Canyon.
oh, because Phil no love
No, you work
me.
with
No.
I never
So,
see
By
him.
proxy.
I never
You
see
should.
him.
Okay, so
Same.
this dog died
Right.
unexpectedly at the clinic. So she was like, I'm going to take the body. I'm going to get it buried. She has a plot. She was part of the whole like cemetery up on Huntington Beach. I have a plot. We're like, great. So then our cat dies
Mm-mm.
randomly, like after. And it just weirdly timed things. Like her cat was old. The dog was unexpected. So the cemetery calls and says, hey, we just want to let you know we received the body of the cat. We are going to bury it. And I was like,
Wait a
Where's the
minute.
wait, where's
dog?
the dog? Because the dog had died previously. And I was like, oh, do you guys not have
Fluffy.
blanket? And they said no. And I was like, huh.
That's right.
It's been a while.
So yeah, like it's
Been a minute.
yeah, it's been a minute. So we called. We pulled straws. Phil called.
Oh, damn.
We got Phil to call. Phil goes, "Hey."
Phil calling is like the worst
It
person
was like literally
ever.
between. It was like Phil and I, and we were like the last two straws. And I was like, I really fucking hope this isn't me. So Phil calls and goes, "Hey, I just want to know how much." She goes, "Oh, we still have her at home." And he goes, "Oh, okay. Well, I just will let you know the cemetery called, and this is what's going on." And she goes, "Well,
We're not
no,
done with
we
her
still
yet.
have her at home, but we freeze her during the day.
Oh my
and
god!
she's sleeping with us at night."
It was like at least 3 weeks, right? 3
Are
or 4
you
weeks.
Close
Yeah.
to a month.
Shitting
Yeah.
me?
Close to a month. No.
This
So
is
they-
someone who needs therapy.
So they
This is
were.
someone who needs
yeah.
therapy.
We need medication. I don't
Yeah.
even.
So
wow,
they were.
that's extreme. I can't match that.
They were, yeah. So they were freezing the dog during the day and sleeping with
You
it.
know, the
So
husband
the other
was
question-
also on board with this crazy shit.
Dude,
thing,
these people were-
too. like
listen.
crazy.
Well, like I mean, like, did they?
I
have,
don't want to diminish grieving in any way.
no,
No.
I know these clients specifically. Batshit.
Yeah,
Like
In
there were
general.
so many.
Did they
other
like
issues
in
going on.
their food freezer, or do they have a separate freezer in the? Not that
I
that
would.
makes.
We don't
I
know.
would
Not that
assume-
that's gonna
I
make
would
it
assume
any
would be.
better.
did we still
but
treat these people?
No.
Oh, okay. It wasn't.
No.
gonna ask you later
So
if
we
it was
had
this
that
person, but-
happen. They were also clients that had mentioned like anal sex during
delightful.
taking temps.
Oh,
Oh, they're
like,
boy.
oh, that's
fine.
You know, like when you go to do it, most people are like, "Oh, mommy doesn't like that
Oh
either."
no!
These
Oh,
were
yeah.
the clients that were like,
Mommy
"Don't
does
worry,
like
we
it."
love it," and I was like, "Oh,
Okay.
you're like in a small."
Awkward.
That's also like sexual harassment.
And then they tried to
Yeah,
play,
right?
and then they tried to pay with pills.
Oh,
And at that point-
That
okay,
seems like
okay.
a really.
Maybe that's why.
And at that
Maybe
point,
that's
we
why
were
like
like,
the
okay,
anal was
makes
just a little bit
sense.
better.
That's
Yeah,
a really.
at that point, we were like, we can no longer continue.
a really exceptional.
But it all
Fair.
makes sense too.
Right.
Story. I don't.
On pills. You're on
I don't have
pills.
anything
Open
like
it
that.
up.
Good God.
I don't have anything like that.
I think
No,
we had to
I mean,
call it
that-
like
I
the
think
cops
that's
a
But that
bunch
was
of
like,
times,
I
but
mean,
that's
that was like the icebreaker for me. I mean, we've had some like, you have the meltdowns, you have the breakdowns, you
Yeah.
have the wives beating the shit out of the husbands, you have the like
I don't know.
underwear that don't belong to
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
wife.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you have all the goods, but that was the one to me that I was like,
I don't think that. I think that's like pretty.
that was
Epic.
that was like my
Exceptional.
ultimate holy
uh,
shit.
Exceptional.
The-
But it like
Crazy.
just kept
Do you have-
going,
I have
you know?
like the other one that I told this story too. Like this was literally like on Wednesday. I told both of those stories. That clients like their dog or cat is their property, so you have to
100%.
Release it to them.
let them do what they're gonna do, even though it's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And so it was like a 70-degree day in Southern California, of course. Like, so this fucking English bulldog was dying because it was
Right.
70 degrees
Out
and
in
it
the
was
sun.
like quote unquote like
Too
running away from the animal control officers, and so it was overheating. Like because he
You're
had
like,
a
"God damn
real
it."
he had a really, really long stop pallet. I remember this. So he comes in like off of the truck, and so like and we're like, holy shit, like, you know, took him straight to surgery where our anesthesia machine or oxygen machine was. So I just stuck him on the table. I forget, his temp was like 107, 108, something
God,
crazy, because he couldn't breathe. Luckily he had a chip, so like the ACO scanned him. And so I already called
Animal
the owner.
control officer.
Thank you. I said that earlier. Thanks,
Love the
Jen.
breakdowns.
And so sorry, I just go.
Go.
And so
That's what I'm
luckily
here
the the owner was already on its way. And so I had this dog on the table, just freaking oxygen mask, just like without the diaphragm. So it's just
Ugh,
like chilling there.
yeah.
So the doc comes over, blah, blah. And then like the doc leaves to do something. And I'm like, holy shit, like going cyanotic on me. Completely
Yeah,
awake,
love that.
cyanotic. So I was like,
here
you know
we
what?
go.
So I just freaking intubated it, wide awake.
And he was
Just
like, "Thank you so much."
Yeah, so he's just
Thank
sitting
you.
there.
I was
He's
like,
just
"God
sitting there,
damn
yeah,
it."
I can breathe.
able to breathe. Just he's totally pink now. And so when the doc comes back, I was like, I intubated him. She's like, awesome, good for you, thank you, like blah blah. So then like 5 minutes later, they bring back the owner. And so if you guys know, so there is a bulldog doctor that's like
Yeah.
the
He's not there. He's not
specialist,
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
anymore,
The
but
quote unquote
Yes,
specialist.
that
yeah.
Big
everybody
now.
is he?
his son owns the place. But
Yeah.
Oh.
he's not as bad as the
Okay.
dad was. But
So
yeah, I know who
everyone,
you're
yeah.
talking
So
about.
this is back in the day. So yeah,
Yeah.
everyone knew this
It's
dog and
shifting
was
a
like,
little bit.
I'm going
Yeah.
to like all the rescues or whatever. Everyone who had a bulldog was like, we're gonna go to this one. He's the best, blah blah. And every vet hates him because he
Yeah,
was
'cause
not.
he's not good.
He's a freaking butcher.
yeah.
So he was like, oh, I'm
No,
gonna
not now.
I'm gonna take my dog, to this dock. And we're like, okay, we're in Tustin. It's 3:45, almost 4 o'clock on a Friday.
Right. It's
And
gonna
you
take us
need
a
to go
drive
to what, Norco? Was it
Yeah.
Norco?
Yeah.
Norco, one of those on a Friday.
You're like, it's gonna take us
You're
2
gonna
hours
get there
to
in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So we're like, there's an emergency down the road from
Yeah.
us. Like,
Right.
we will take it. We will drive him over, like, and take him there so then he can get stabilized, blah blah blah. And he's like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, so my doc's talking to him. The doc didn't have the best bedside manner. She never really did, but like she was so good at her job. Like, she's such an amazing doc. And so she's like trying to explain, like, you're gonna kill your dog, like, nicely.
Yeah,
like, you're
this
gonna kill
is
your
dead.
dog,
Yeah.
like, if you don't, like, 'cause you can see he's
Things
on the
aren't going
table
right.
with a tube in his mouth,
Yeah.
wide awake, and
Yeah.
And probably still at 105
yeah.
at least.
So
yeah.
so like we're doing, like, so she's like, and he's like, no, like, he was adamant, and I was literally I couldn't help myself. I was like, you're gonna kill your goddamn animal if
Yeah.
you let him go.
Yeah.
And so my doc, because I worked with her for so many years, like, and so she did the whole like snap at me,
Yeah.
like, or like
Like-
did the little hit,
Like, don't.
like, stop, like,
Yeah.
you're gonna
not
get
helping.
you're
Right.
gonna get yourself in trouble,
And you're
But-
not helping.
yeah, by like,
It's
trying
so
to
hard though
advocate.
sometimes to not step in and do that.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. So I stopped, and what did he do? He went to pay his bill and freaking took his animal. So like, of course we don't know what happened, but like, you have those clients, and you're just like,
Well, you have to
What?
advocate sometimes
We had a
for the
client-
pet. to
so
the
I
client.
did, and
Yeah.
then I did thank
Yeah.
my doc. I was like, thank you for doing that. She's
Yeah.
like, I know,
I
and I
need to
know
be pulled
you.
out of the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, she's like, I got you. Like, it's fine. You were fine. I just didn't want you to go that far. And I was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
No.
but that's having that communication and that
We-
trust with that doc
We
too.
had a fucking client, which I actually just forgot about until you were telling me this, that had a dog with a splenic tumor that had a slow bleed, came in because he collapsed. Did the ultrasound, did all the goods, and we're like, hey, hematocrit super low, PCV super low, like, we
Time
should
to go
probably
to
remove this splenic tumor.
surgery.
And the guy goes, no, you have no proof that it's cancerous. I'm
Oh my
not
God.
removing the splenic tumor. You guys are just part of this like voodoo witch
I wanna
doctor.
have-
Like
Oh
my dog
God,
will
I
live
hate
forever.
that. Like you're
in it
the
for money.
Yeah, all of it. And we were like,
Mad.
okay, you're fucking. And it was hours of fighting. And then finally we were like, you know
stupid.
what?
Yeah.
Deuces, have fun.
But then it's like, oh, the
I felt
This
so bad
guy-
for that pet.
I
Uh-huh.
know.
This guy brought this dog in every 2 weeks for a recheck just to prove to us
Like,
That
he
it
was
that
wasn't.
his
alive.
dog was still up and still living. His dog, I do want to say, I mean, like, yeah, with like a very, very slow, I mean, intermittent, like splenic bleed. Obviously, it wasn't cancerous, but he had lasted 4 months. And he was like,
But
I-
think
and
how
he
long
goes-
he-
and he
months.
goes-
Think
and
how
goes-
long
and
he
looks
would
at
have
us and he goes, I
lasted.
fucking told you guys. And we were like, right, but this was a benign splenic mass
That you could
was
have gotten
slowly
2 3
bleeding.
more years out
So
of
you
your
could
dog.
have
Yes.
easily
for.
gotten like 3 or 4 years out, no problem.
You're
But you're
so
facing
smart.
right.
I
but,
love
like,
you for bringing your
to
dog in to
watch
prove a
him
point.
bring this dog in every day,
Suffering.
or not every day, but every
Yeah.
couple weeks, just to be like a fuck you to us. I was like,
I hate
I
you.
can't. Like,
no, I
I'm
would
sorry.
say like, okay, you don't need to
but
come
what's
back.
your point?
Yeah.
Like, cool, your dog's slowly bleeding internally instead
But it's
of
that
needing a
whole-
blood
it's that
transfusion.
whole
Like,
theory that people
this
think
isn't a fucking pissing competition.
Yeah.
Like, I want your dog to be okay. I
Yeah.
want your pet to feel better. I don't care how long your dog's bleeding out. Your dog shouldn't be bleeding out
Yeah.
for any
Yes.
time frame. If I
Yeah.
can control it, like, just
I-
wild.
I think that
Crazy.
people lose sight of what we're trying to do, and that's why this.
No, it goes,
profession
and I
is
get it.
so
It's the
hard.
stress, it's the money, it's
Yeah.
the emotion.
Right.
It's
But
all,
at the
it's all
same
part of it. I get
time,
it.
It's us trying to explain something that's very real,
Yes.
and they think they're at the mechanics and
Getting
telling
Well,
them.
that's the other thing.
Right.
Do you
getting
do that to your
screwed.
human doctor?
No,
Yes.
no, never.
No, they do.
They would no.
Now
No, I
if
know,
they
but
do,
like,
I
yeah,
would think
but
they
The
would
same
never.
people would do the same things, but they just
Yes.
don't get as much momentum
But
because
because,
Right.
but
human
because
medicine.
they
Yeah.
don't have to pay for it because they have health insurance for the
But
most
have
part.
you guys heard those stories that doctors and nurses get? Like they get the same shit that we do.
Yeah, I do.
It just
Which is
really
wild. It's
fucking
absolutely
crazy.
wild
It's
to
really
me.
crazy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nuts.
Which
you know,
never
people are just
mind-
like shitty. In
Never
general.
mind the whole debate I saw online about veterinary nurses, technicians, and human nurses. Like that, there's a couple people that feel like we don't do the
Oh.
nursing care.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just because we're called technicians doesn't mean that we're not doing the nursing care.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's a story for another day for
Yeah.
sure.
we
Yeah.
saved that for
Absolutely.
another episode.
Absolutely.
But we are, you guys, I'm always really impressed that we come in with like, not
What are we
minimal
gonna talk
topics, but like a
about?
brief topic, and then we just
This one,
spiral
I
for
feel like
hours.
we were pretty on point for
Yeah.
most of
No,
it, which is
we
like I was
were-
pretty impressed.
Yeah, we
I
didn't
feel like we're like an
spiral.
hour and 10 with this one.
Wow.
And we didn't really talk that much shit on clients, which I feel like
No.
we could have definitely spiraled like
Absolutely
a lot more with clients.
I think
But
it's because this drink is so
it's
sweet.
so
Yeah.
good.
It's the cooler.
It
is the
is, it
cooler.
is.
Yeah.
Client
everybody-
and
The
You guys
gabapentin
need-
really like
I am out of it.
no
because I
real
drank all of
gabapentin
it, but
is
you,
in this drink.
You'll have to look at the girls'
Right.
drinks because they have
Some left.
proof of how
Although it's
delicious.
Definitely
the
keep a
curdle.
stir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the,
we
the
definitely need a
curdling is a
stir.
little.
We need an
It's a
agitator.
little off-putting to say the
look at,
least,
but it's still
it's
looks like-
delicious.
It looks like
delicious.
a
It looks like a good time.
It looks like
Biometra
fat.
punch with
Fat.
Oh, is it,
No
oh, it is
blood.
separating kind
It
of weird
looks
over
like
for
a
you guys.
it is
jar
very
of fat.
expensive.
But
There
as
you go.
always,
What are you saying with the lungs? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
chylothorax now.
Oh,
Kylo
kind
thorax.
of.
Chylothorax.
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
I'm sorry.
I mean, a little too
Interesting.
orangey.
It's a little
but,
too
like,
orangey. It needs
Yeah.
more white.
I need more
Yeah.
white.
Right.
I need more white in it. But
Yeah.
anyway, it was so
Yummy.
fun having
Thanks
you
for
guys.
coming.
in
This
the
was so much
Nerd
fun.
Party. Thank you guys, as always, for joining us.
Clink.
Cheers. And we look forward
Cheers,
to
you guys.
seeing
Thanks
you
for
guys
joining
next
Bye.
time.